Hey y'all, it's bedtime, but there's a big storm outside. It's really scary. I'm gonna tell you a story. A scary, scary story. Tonight's story is called The Brown Dog. When I was little, there would be nights like these where it would be raining and storming. In my room, I had a wicker chair, and on this wicker chair sat an enormous creature, stuffed. It wasn't really a dog. It wasn't really a bear. It wasn't really an elephant. It was some kind of creature. I never understood how whoever created it thought that that was a good idea. This animal, this stuffed animal, it was so unusual. It was like a mixture of multiple animals. I think I just called it a dog, although it was closer to a woolly mammoth, but with no trunk. And it wore overalls. And it sat there at night in the wicker chair. But sometimes things would happen at night. Strange things, but only when it rained, when it stormed. I think the dog wanted to get to the water. One night, when it was storming just like tonight, I know what I saw in the bed. The enormous creature that had been sitting in the wicker chair stood up. I saw it in shadows. I was trembling in the bed. I couldn't breathe. The silhouette of the enormous stuffed animal was standing up. Was it my imagination? No, it couldn't have been. It was standing up. It was attracted to the rain, the lightning, something. Maybe the lightning energized it. And it walked over to the window. And it looked out. I made the smallest of frightened sounds. Like that. And the large brown dog turned and looked at me. I was so scared. In that moment, I didn't know what to do. And then it started moving towards me. Slowly. You could hear its footsteps. This creature was bigger than I thought it ever was. It wasn't simply a stuffed animal, no. This creature was huge. Then it looked down on me, but it was still dark, and I only saw glimpses of its face when the lightning came through the windows. It didn't seem to have a mouth. I was worried I would see rows of bloody teeth, but it wasn't like that. It was the eyes. It was like they were staring into my soul. It was like it knew all of the fears in the world that I had. I was paralyzed with fear. I could hardly move. And then the brown dog moved closer to me, its eyes getting closer and closer to mine. And suddenly, there was this huge blast of lightning and thunder. It shook the whole house. I used that moment to leap out of the bed and run over to the door. The door was locked. I couldn't get out. I was alone with the brown dog. And slowly, I turned to look, but it wasn't there anymore. The brown dog wasn't standing above my bed. It was seated again at the chair, as if it had never moved. Eventually, after standing there for what seemed an eternity, the rain subsided and stopped. And the dog, or whatever it was, also stopped. Whatever it had been doing, whatever it was going to do. And I always wondered, what if the rain and the thunder and lightning had kept going that night? What if it hadn't stopped all that night and the dog got closer and closer and closer to me with those eyes? What would have happened? How close was it going to get to my eyes? And what was it going to do when it eventually came face to face with me? I was glad that I hadn't found out that night.